We're recording. So hi and welcome to day 1 of the Brush Basics Challenge. So we'll be starting fresh today and, well, why listen to me blather, right? Let's just get started.
So in today's lesson, you'll learn how to hold and use your brush or brush pen, as well as the fundamental rule of lettering. Then we'll apply what you've learned to draw a downstroke and an upstroke, which are essentially the most basic strokes in brush lettering. So, let's go! Before we dive into lettering proper, I want to talk to you about how to use your brush pen, starting with your grip. So holding a brush pen for brush lettering isn't too different from your standard writing grip. That's what makes this style so friendly. As long as you have a fairly normal grip, not something like this, you won't have to make any major adjustments to your grip. Whether you need to make adjustments or not depends on what angle you hold your pen at. Some of us hold our pens really straight, others more relaxed about it. So let me show you. Your brush pen should always be held at a 40 to 50 degree angle from the paper. If you hold your brush pen really close to the tip and upright, you'll have to adjust your grip. So hold your pen further up and relax a bit so you can get the right angle. That 40 to 50 degree angle is essential to achieving both thick and thin strokes with that one pen. After that, all you need is one more thing to use your brush pen. Then that is pressure. So the trick to get thick and thin strokes lies in applying different amounts of pressure when you letter. So if you use less strength, you'll have thinner strokes. Brush pens are made flexible, so really just dare to press down hard so you can really get the full width of each pen. This is an easy way to test if a pen is really a pen made for brush lettering. Simply check if you can get thick and thin lines by applying different amounts of pressure. So you can create thick and thin lines, right? But when do you use what? So this is where this fundamental rule of lettering comes into play. Any upward stroke is always thin, and any downward stroke is always thick. This is why your upstroke is thin and your downstroke is thick. So let's start with the downstroke first. As the name suggests, we are starting at the top, and then you simply just press down and drag the brush pen down to form this stroke. Sounds pretty simple, right? So you want to hold your brush pen at a 40 to 50 degree angle from the paper and simply press down. If you're getting a stroke that looks too thin, you may not be pressing hard enough. So brush tips are made fairly hardy, so just really dare to apply that pressure. The only tricky part about this stroke is maintaining constant pressure. So with more flexible pens or paintbrush like this one, maintaining the same amount of pressure as you move down the stroke can be tricky. So actually sometimes what I do is I just use the tip of my brush, and since the paint is still wet, I'll just kind of fill it up and clean it up a little bit. So let's do a quick recap. The downstroke starts at the top and you press down and draw the stroke downwards. It usually follows the slant of your script. And in this style, we're using a 55 degree angle. If you're writing upright, your stroke will be perfectly perpendicular to your baseline. So be sure to keep the pressure you use constant throughout the stroke, and if your strokes look too thin, really just dare to press down. Your pens are flexible. So give it a try. Trace over the grey downstrokes first, then use the blank space beside it to try on your own. The alternating guided and free practice will help you correct your strokes and also help you build muscle memory. Then with your downstrokes, let's hop over to the other side. Upstrokes. Again, it's pretty obvious. First you start at the bottom, right? And very lightly, again with the tip of your pen, draw the upstroke up. I know it sounds really basic, but this is one that everyone struggles with.
Again, you want to keep that 40 to 50 degree angle from the paper, and then barely let the tip of your brush touch, or your brush pen, touch the tip of, touch the paper, and then lift it all the way up. And you may feel your hands shaking if you're nervous like me right now, because filming this like that, it's pretty nerve-wracking. Or, you may just have shaky hands because you're not used to it, so just rest it down a bit more. It's alright if your lines are a bit thicker than they normally would be. Over time, you'll be able to make skinnier lines, and it will start looking better. But in the meantime, just prioritize steadiness over skinniness and roll with it. And if you're righty like me, I want you to take note of one at the same time. So don't tuck your arm in like this and write. Because I know most of us, when we write on paper, we tend to keep our elbows into our body so we can write faster across, like down the bottom, because our hands are pretty tight. And it's fine because we're writing, but when we're lettering it's big, what happens is that if I keep my arm tucked in like this and I draw my upstroke from the bottom, what happens is that as I go up, my upstroke gets thicker, and that's not what I want. I want it to be evenly skinny, not skinny at the bottom and fat on top, because that just looks really, really weird. So instead of that, what I want you to do is to push your arm out. So keep this arm outwards, and it feels really unnatural. So if it feels unnatural, there are a few other things you can do. But this will really help you get those thin upstrokes. So what you're going to do here is to move my tracing paper first, is to keep your arm and elbow out, and then touch that tip of your pen to the paper and draw the line out. So what this does is that it unlocks your arm, and then it gives you a more balanced way to attack this particular stroke, so that your upstroke stays thin. Generally, it's at a wider angle to your slant, so it's easier for you to make these strokes. Yep, so if you feel that writing at this angle feels really, really uncomfortable, there are a couple of things you can do to make it more comfortable. So what I do is that instead of writing straight on and like this and like this, it feels so weird. What I actually do is that I just turn my paper and turn my whole body really, so I feel a bit more comfortable in this position. Sometimes if I'm feeling really lazy, what I do is I turn it all the way perpendicular to the table, and then I just slam my whole body and I do this. But that's when I'm feeling like, I don't mind exercising this particular part of my arm and letting the muscle do its work. If not, having it slightly slanted and then slanting your body slightly is just about perfect. So move it around until you find a place that's comfortable for you, and keep the elbow out and practice your upstrokes.
So let's recap. Your upstroke starts at the bottom. So with just the tip of your brush pen, lightly draw the stroke. Keep the pressure you use constant. If you have shaky hands, rest a bit on the paper a bit more is fine. Steady over skinny. Righties, don't forget to keep your elbows out. Take action today, so grab your brush or brush pen and find a comfortable grip. Then practice your downstrokes and upstrokes. Get these absolute basics down, because tomorrow we'll be combining them to form two new strokes, the underturn and the overturn. So catch you soon!